All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Evolve Yourself TV. Today, we're going to be discussing metaphysics. It's my favorite branch of philosophy, actually. I'm Agni James, and
I'm Danielle Johnson.
yeah, sorry, I didn't introduce you till a little later this time. Yeah, we got a great show for you tonight, and we're excited that you're all here and that you're going to be sharing this experience with us. We're going to talk some philosophy, and then after that, we are going to do a meditation. So, yeah, I hope everyone is well. How is everyone out there doing today? I can tell you a little bit about what I did today. I did a bunch of stock market stuff early. I do some day trading and swing trading. And then also a little bit after that, I did some yoga, which was awesome. One of the amazing streamers on here on Twitch is Yoga with Jen, and I recommend anyone to check her out if you haven't. And she does these incredible yoga classes, and so I was able to do one of those classes, and it felt great. And then after that, Danielle right here came over, and we went for an incredible walk. And yeah, we got to be out in nature, breathing a lot of fresh air. It was about 82 degrees in Chicagoland, so it was pretty good weather. So yeah,
And the
everything.
forest was very happy today.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, tell us a little more about that, about the vibe that you felt when we were.
I just walked around. So we've been going in the same forest preserve for a few weeks, well, since the snow melted, basically,
Yeah.
and it's been pretty barren, which was cool because that's a fun time to be around all those trees and all the stuff. But today and then a little green started coming, but today there was leaves, there was flowers, and I don't know, it just felt happy to me.
Yeah,
That was the forest felt happy, like a Disney movie or something.
Yeah, it had that refreshing feeling, like where you just walk out and you're just kind of every cell in your being is revitalized with just pure energy from creation, and it was wonderful. It was really good, great experience. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna get right into a little bit of metaphysics. Now, I don't know how much philosophy background many of you have. Have any of you? Do any of you have any background in philosophy? Have you studied philosophy, or have you read any philosophy before? If not, that's no big deal. Okay, well, a little bit about my background then. I went to graduate school for philosophy, and the areas that I studied the most were metaphysics, philosophy of mind, and philosophy of science. Those were my big areas that I really liked, and I devoted a lot of time into those, and I still do. I still read up on that stuff because I find it fascinating. I mean, how cool is it that as human beings we can explore? We have so many questions to the most fundamental issues in nature, in reality, right? We want to know what is the foundational level of reality. What is the fundamental nature of reality? We want to know so many things about the world and about life. And because we have such a finite amount of processing power and data, we'll never be able to really understand those things through our journey in the external world. But it's still pretty fascinating to think about. So that's why I like philosophy. Why do you like philosophy so much?
It just, and I'm so different than you in this area, but it's when I'm reading about philosophy and studying philosophy, it's like my soul is at peace. Like,
Really?
it's just where I'm supposed to be. And I think it's this search for truth and the depth of it, and that's really just, it feeds my soul. And
Really?
I was a psychology major, but then my last semester of grad school, I just felt called over Christmas break. I'm like, I want to take some philosophy classes. So I enrolled in a few of the graduate level philosophy classes for that last semester while I was finishing my dissertation. And I was hooked, and I was like, yeah, and then I just couldn't consume enough of it. So I just like it in my core being.
Yeah. And your path led you right here, right?
Right.
All right, so that's cool. Okay, so I guess we will start then. The ship of Theseus. The ship of Theseus. is a really cool problem in philosophy, and I'll tell you a little bit about how it goes. So there was the story goes like this: there was a ship in Theseus that was going to travel from Athens. Actually, it was going to travel from Athens to Crete, and the ship would travel back and forth from Athens to Crete and Crete to Athens. This was supposedly like roughly 2,000 years ago. Anyways, over time, this beautiful new ship of Theseus needed some repairs, so it needed to get a plank replaced. So they took out a rotten plank, put in a new plank, right? And then over time, sorry about that. Sometimes with my hand gestures, I get a little.
Gotta be a little
excited.
further away, I think.
So then they would do the same thing. So they've already removed one plank from the ship of Theseus and replaced it with a new plank. And then they took that plank that they replaced and they stored it in some supply center or like warehouse, whatever they had back 2,000 years ago. I don't know what they were called. And then over time, another plank rotted out, so they would replace that plank with the new plank with another new plank as well. And so they just kept on. Oh, wow! Thank you so much. A. Alep just gifted five tier 1 subs to the community. That is awesome. That is really, really incredible. Thank you so much for that. That was incredibly, incredibly kind. Much, much appreciated. Okay. So yeah. So eventually they just kept on replacing planks from the ship of Theseus. And it got to a point where every single plank and every single part of the entire ship had to be replaced. So kind of imagine that for a moment, right? You have this ship, this beautiful new ship, and then over time, with the water and the storms bearing down on it, it had to be replaced. Every single piece of the whole ship had to be replaced, but all those parts were saved. Okay, so now that might not seem like that big of a deal, right? Because it's like, oh, whatever, if your car has a problem and a part breaks, you just replace it. It's no big deal. If it needs another part, you get a new part and replace it with that part, right? So that's not really the interesting part of the philosophical problem. The interesting part pertains to identity. And when you replace all of the parts, all of the components of an X in the world, so for instance of a ship or any object in the world, once every single piece of it that was original to that given X has been replaced, the question then arises: is it still the same X? So is the ship of Theseus still the ship of Theseus, even though every single component of the ship has been replaced? And that's kind of interesting to think about, right? A lot of people would say, yeah, well, okay, yeah, it still is the ship of Theseus. It still is that same ship. It just has different parts, right? Okay, and that's a perfectly fine thing to say. But it gets a little more interesting then with the next philosophical twist that philosophers gave, because philosophers like doing thought experiments and posing questions that are really challenging and stuff like that. And they said, okay, so then what would happen if all the components that were taken out of the original ship of Theseus were then constructed back into the ship of Theseus? And so that ship would then be put in the water right next to the ship that got all of its components replaced. So then you have two ships in the water, and then the question is, well, which one of those is the ship of Theseus? And this is where it starts getting really interesting, right? So what do you think, Danielle? What do you think? Which one of those ships would be the ship of Theseus? You have the one ship, again, that has had all of its parts completely removed from it and replaced. Just workers in the ancient Greek town.
The
shipbuilders, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's beside the point.
It matters for my concept.
Okay. Let's just say that there's just some group of shipbuilders that replaced every individual component of the original ship of Theseus, and then they stored those components in the warehouse, and then they later took all those components and built the same ship back and put it into the water right next to the ship with the replaced parts.
I think the new one is the ship of Theseus.
Okay, so you think the new one, and a lot of people's intuitions would say, okay, the new ship is the ship of Theseus because it originally was that ship. It got all of its components replaced, and then but still you'd still think it would be the same ship, right? Like for instance, with your car, if you get a bunch of components replaced in your car, it's still the same car, right? It's not like you're going to get a new radiator and it's going to be like, oh, I have a different car now, right? I got a new radiator, so
because I think where the identity is in being your car.
I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah, that's kind of an interesting take on that. Okay, so yeah, so then the problem is though, okay, if you let me actually look this up to make sure I'm getting this correct. Yeah, okay. According to Leibniz's law, and Leibniz was a famous mathematician and philosopher a few hundred years ago, and he did a tremendous amount for philosophy. And according to Leibniz's law, Leibniz's law is the metaphysical principle that necessarily, if A and B are identical, then they must share all of the same properties. Okay, now this kind of muddies the waters a little bit, right? Because we're saying ship 2 is the ship of Theseus. Some people are going to argue that ship 3 is this ship of Theseus, but Danielle's saying that ship 2 is the ship of Theseus, right? Okay, so she's saying that the ship that has got all the new parts is the ship of Theseus, but according to Leibniz's law, that can't be the case because it does not contain the same parts, the same components as the original ship of Theseus. So that's not going to quite work.
Well, only according to Leibniz.
Well, but this is a very well accepted philosophical principle.
Right, but what if the ship of Theseus isn't the actual boat, but the concept of the boat? Then all the properties could technically be the same, even if you change the parts of the boat.
So why wouldn't the third ship then, the one that was constructed out of all the parts, why wouldn't that also be the ship of Theseus?
Because the people who own the boat that named it the ship of Theseus don't own those parts anymore. That's garbage. The workers took it, put it back together. That's a different boat owned by a new set of people that they can now call whatever they want.
Okay, so what you're arguing, if I hear it correctly, is that it's a social construction. That the concept is basically defined by whoever, but the concept of being the ship of Theseus is defined by whoever owns the wood or owns that ship. Okay, that's a good point, and that's something that that's a one variation you can take on it. But we're more focused on the actual material nature of the objective realm, and in the material world, we have these not just ideas of things, but we have the actual things. We want to know what the essence is of that ship of Theseus, right? We want to know, is it the actual parts? Is it the components that have been removed? Is the essence the fact that the one ship was the original ship of Theseus was there before the other one? It was there earlier in the spatio-temporal sequence. We want to know all of those things, right? So it doesn't quite fit. Let me see what one part I wanted to look up real quick. Let's see. All right. So. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, there's two other options. So we went over two of the options. A third option is that both ships are identical to the original ship of Theseus. And then the fourth option is that neither ship is identical to the original ship of Theseus. So those are the four options that we currently have to understand this, all right? Now, where is it? Okay, so basically, yeah. Now a lot of people would say it wouldn't make sense to say that both ships were still the ship of Theseus, right? Because that seems kind of weird from our understanding of the material world, right? When we look at the external world and we see two distinct objects, such as like two ships, you don't say they're both the same, right? That would be like saying, if you have two to I don't know, buildings and saying, oh, both of these buildings are the same. They're both buildings, right? One of them has to maintain the essence, and that's the thing that we do within metaphysics. We really deal with the essence, at the essence and the core of whatever object we're looking at. So we want to know, what are the essential properties of the ship of Theseus? What is it about its core, about its foundational nature that makes it the ship of Theseus? And you were alluding to that it's more of just a name, and whoever owns it is able to dictate the terms of what it is. But that's not the case according to metaphysicians and how it's typically viewed through an analytic philosophy lens. They want to say there is an X that exists called the ship of Theseus, and that X will either continue to exist or cease to exist. So when that X is modified, when that ship of Theseus is now modified by having all the planks removed and new planks installed, you wouldn't think it would lose its actual title as the ship of Theseus, according to what its fundamental nature is. It wouldn't lose its essence. But some people will argue it will. Like you seem to be willing to argue, right? That's more of a concept, right?
I mean, I don't really know what you just asked me.
Okay, all right. Maybe we're getting a little too complex for now. All right. Well, let's hop right in then into the meditation, and we can go from there. But identity is super important in philosophy, and especially in the metaphysical realm. And we need to really spend a good amount of time thinking about what the essences of things are, what the core essence of an X is in the world, and what it is and what its nature is, what essential properties it has. By the way, essential properties in philosophy are properties that are required of an object. So, like, let's say there's 5 essential properties that an object must have to be a given X. Well, if that's the case, then if it's missing even one of those essential properties, it is no longer that X. So metaphysics deals with, it assumes that these objects do exist. And that's another interesting thing to note. We're assuming that these objects exist. These objects are there. These objects are real world things. We're not talking about it from like a higher level perspective of looking down and saying, oh, well, they don't exist. They're just constructs or whatnot. We're talking about it from the level of material objects do exist in the world, and material constitution is real. So that's just kind of presupposed and all that. All right, so let's meditate. I have a Buddhist chant track that I play for the meditation, and I'm going to play that right now. It has a chime that goes off every 2 seconds, which will help you regulate your breath count. All right. I think we are just about ready. So you want to get in a nice, comfortable seated position. You can be sitting on the floor. You can sit in a chair. You can sit in lotus pose. You can sit with your back against the wall. Any of those will do. And then you'll want to close your eyes. And gently inhale through your nose, raising your belly. And exhale through your mouth, lowering your belly. And breathe in through your nose, raising your abdomen. And breathe out through your mouth, lowering your abdomen. Stay true to your breath count throughout the remainder of this meditation. Inhale through your nose, gently raising your belly. And exhale through your mouth, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in through your nose, gently raising your abdomen. And breathe out through your mouth, gently lowering your abdomen. Stay true to your breath count throughout the remainder of this practice. Breathe in through your nose. And breathe out through your mouth. Inhale through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. Stay true to your breath. Inhale, 4, 6, 8. Exhale, 4, 6, 8. Breathe in, 4, 6, 8. Breathe out, 4, 6, 8. As you inhale through your nose, visualize healing chi energy flowing into your body, nourishing every cell in your being. And as you exhale through your mouth, visualize negative chi energy flowing out through your body, cleansing your soul. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth. Your essence is love. In philosophy, we search and think about the truth. In meditation, we delve within and look for the truth within us. Through philosophy, an exchange of ideas is established and a dialogue occurs between people, all the while searching for answers. In meditation, the dialogue is with oneself. We delve into the source of perfect peace and we reside there in a state of absolute joy. Philosophy and meditation share many similar attributes and are very much the same in many respects. Metaphysics is very concerned with the foundational level of reality. It's also very interested in exploring the essential properties of objects. Meditation is also very concerned with the essential properties of essences and wants to get at the source of all creation. Through philosophy and meditation, one may come to a better picture of the universe and one's place within this realm. Inhale through your nose, gently raising your belly. And exhale through your mouth, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in through your nose, gently raising your abdomen. And breathe out through your mouth, gently lowering your abdomen. Stay true to your breath count throughout the remainder of this meditation. Breathe in through your nose. And breathe out through your mouth. Inhale through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. You are a child of love and light. Your essence is divine. The essential properties of your essence are immutability, omniscience, omnipresence, oneness, and pure love. Your essence is eternal. It cannot be changed no matter how hard you try, for that is how you were created. So inhale through your nose and visualize golden light flooding into your body. And exhale through your mouth, releasing all that does not serve you well. Inhale through your nose, feeling the rush of warmth flooding into your vessel. And exhale through your mouth all that does not serve you in a productive way. As you breathe in through your nose, visualize a ball of golden light radiating within your chest cavity. And maintain focus on that ball of light. With every inhale and exhale, your focus remains true and steady on that pure radiating light within you. Your essence is love. Your essence is light. You are one with the divine. You are eternal. As you gently inhale through your nose, Visualize the energy within you radiating outward, extending in every direction infinitely. And as you exhale through your mouth, release all that does not serve you well. There are two voices you can listen to. There's the ego voice that tells you to search externally and to get more and more of everything that you possibly can. And there's the internal voice that tells you that everything you need and have ever needed is already within you. There is no lack, and you are perfectly full. If you choose to listen to the ego voice, you will always be empty, regardless of how many material possessions you have and whatever else you're doing in the external world. For you're presupposing lack. If you presuppose that you're full and that you have everything you need to be perfectly content, you will be perfectly content in a state of pure love and joy. It's your choice to choose which voice to hear. It's your choice to choose which voice to follow. Breathe in through your nose, gently raising your belly, and exhale through your mouth, lowering your belly. Inhale. Exhale. The things of this world will not give you lasting peace, nor will they give you lasting joy. But the things that you find when you delve deep within your psyche are the things that give you eternal peace. Those are the things of value. Your essential nature, your core, the properties of which fulfill you and give you everything you need eternally. Inhale through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose. And breathe out through your mouth. In order to find the place in you that is radiating with golden light, you must be still. The illusory dualistic framework that holds us hostage keeps us constantly distracted with things of the external world. The ego's survival depends on keeping us distracted. For if we all chose to look within to our true home and go there, the ego would cease to exist. For what is at the source of each one of us is capital T truth, and that truth is eternal. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose. And breathe out through your mouth. You are perfect peace. You are perfect love. You are perfect joy. You are perfect oneness. When you go out into the external world, into this illusory dualistic framework, the other people that you encounter are what is real and what has value. Choose to not interact with their ego voice, but find the place in them that is pure light and connect that place with them with your place of pure light. For when you connect through the divine essence that exists within each one of us, you are doing the greatest service you could possibly do to another human being. By sharing the light, you increase its magnitude 1,000-fold, and that light can be brought in to awaken others and bring peace to us all. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth. Your essence is love. Your essence is light. When you realize that you are pure love and light, no fear or anxiety can enter your being. For there is no space for fiction in the realm of truth. You are divine. Take one final deep inhale through your nose. Make it the biggest breath of the day. And exhale through your mouth, releasing all anxiety, fear, and worry. Gently open your eyes and return to the present moment, bringing with you the peace from this meditation throughout the remainder of your day. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining us in this wonderful meditation. Thank you again, A. Alep, for those 5 gifted subs.
10 total today.
10.
A. Alep has been such a great supporter of this channel since we first started, and we really appreciate your support and believing in us and gifting all these subs to people. That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Pretty awesome. Thank you. Much appreciated. Okay, so how was that for everyone? How did everyone have a peaceful meditation? I really hope everyone did. I hope everyone enjoyed what we had to offer here today. Kittens Kung Fu. Oh, you're here. Wonderful. Amazing session. Excellent. All right, let's give Kittens Kung Fu a shout out. Yeah, he is incredible. He's welcomed us to the Twitch community with open arms and has showed so much warmth and love and affection. It's just been amazing meeting Kittens Kung Fu. I highly recommend that you go and check out his channel. He does Qigong. He does all sorts of amazing breath work and energy work. He's just an incredible human being.
He has a cool channel on YouTube where he does weightlifting stuff, and also you get to see his cat a lot on YouTube.
Yeah.
So he's Mia. A big cat. He's a big cat dad, if you watch his channel. And he's just so kind and just so welcoming and warm. Absolutely. And just love his energy and watching him all the time. So
check him out. All right, if you haven't followed, we greatly appreciate it if you click follow or subscribe if you haven't subscribed. We're trying to grow the channel. We're trying to teach as many people meditation as possible and also bring as much philosophy to people in the world as possible. So thank you so much. When you meditate, you're doing the greatest service you can possibly do for yourself and for others.
We love you too, kittens.
Absolutely.
And Parmenides. Yeah. Use your point. I'm using my points.
No, you're really gonna?
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna have to do something. I'm gonna have to get out of my chair if you're gonna use your points and do this. All right.
Philosophy Cat.
Philosophy Cat is coming.
In honor of Kung Fu Kittens and Mia. I just spent 500 points to get Parmenides a little visit. Parmenides is Agni's cat. Parmenides is a famous philosopher. And Parmenides is the cutest ball of joy. I don't know, Mia's pretty cute too, though.
All right, here we go. We got this cat in here. She doesn't love to be held, but she tolerates me, and she does like getting her neck scratched. She's pretty cool. Here, let's put her up to the camera. Hey, say hi. All right.
Okay, we gotta find someone to raid.
Yeah, who are we gonna raid tonight? Who's available?
All right, check me out as a rerun, so that's not.
Let's see who we got up here. All right, we have. Let's see. Mel's camp is doing something. She's doing something kind of silly. Hey, let's put you out here. You can go out. All right. So Mel's camp is really cool. She streams a lot of yoga, but she also does some interesting stuff. She's doing a variety show, I believe. It's like a kind of like a jokey variety show type thing.
It says Tinder.
It's gonna be funny.
Tinder is my candy.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. So we're gonna raid Mel's camp, and let's see what happens. It's gonna be this goofy thing. So let's see how it plays out. All right. Thank you all again. I love you all. Have a wonderful evening. And look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.